1912 Stockholm Olympics. On July 14, 1912, Portuguese marathon runner Francisco Lazaro lined up in Stockholm for what would become the deadliest Olympic marathon in history. The 21-year-old carpenter from Porto had trained in Portugal's mild climate. By 1:45 p.m., temperatures had reached 32 degrees Celsius, and the humidity was high. The 42-kilometer course, made of asphalt and dust, felt like a scorching oven. Before the race, Lazaro made a fatal decision. To protect himself from sunburn, he covered his entire body with a thick layer of beef fat and wax. He believed it would shield him from the sun, but instead it formed a waterproof barrier that prevented his body from sweating and cooling down. 69 runners began the marathon. Lazaro started cautiously, running alongside competitors from Sweden, Finland, and South Africa. The early kilometers went smoothly, but as the sun rose higher, the heat intensified. By the halfway point, many runners collapsed due to heat stroke and were forced to drop out. Lazaro, though struggling, pushed on. His breathing became heavy, and sweat began to pool beneath the wax, but because it couldn't evaporate, his body was unable to cool itself. Around the 30-kilometer mark, he began staggering, his consciousness fading, classic signs of severe heat stroke. His body's cooling system had completely failed. With just 5 miles, about 8 kilometers left, he collapsed. Spectators rushed to help. He was unconscious and his body was burning hot. The wax layer on his skin had nearly melted. Swedish medical staff transported him to Serafimer Hospital in Stockholm. Doctors worked for hours to lower his temperature, but Lazaro died the following morning. This tragedy led to the introduction of new safety measures in Olympic marathons. 2010 Vancouver Olympics. On February 12, 2010, only hours remained until the opening ceremony. Georgian luger Nodar Kumaritashvili was preparing for his final training run at the Whistler Sliding Center. Nodar Kumaritashvili was only 21 years old. He had devoted his life to this moment, following in the footsteps of his father and uncle, and had reached the point where he would represent his country in the sport of luge. However, the Whistler track was known as the fastest and most dangerous track in the world. On this 1,360-meter course, speeds exceeded 150 kilometers per hour, and multiple athlete accidents occurred during training weeks. Italian luger Armin Zergler had openly criticized the track's design, calling it too fast and too dangerous. Romanian athlete Valeta Stromaru had suffered a concussion in a previous crash, and many other athletes had experienced accidents resulting in loss of control and equipment damage. At 16:44, Nodar began his final training run. Lying on his small sled, he accelerated quickly and navigated the first curves smoothly. As his speed increased, he approached the challenging turns 15 and 16. By the 15th turn, he was traveling at approximately 145 kilometers per hour, a speed considered normal for an experienced athlete. However, things suddenly went wrong at turn 15. Video footage showed him drifting slightly toward the outer wall with the sled. He tried to correct his position using his right leg, but the move was both too late and too forceful. The sled was suddenly propelled toward the high wall of turn 16, and Nodar lost control, being thrown into the air at high speed. Within seconds, everything went awry. Nodar separated from the sled and collided with a metal support column beside the track. The impact was catastrophically severe. Medical teams reached him within minutes and desperately tried to restore his breathing. However, his injuries were too severe to be compatible with life. Nodar Kumaritashvili passed away at 17:50 at the Whistler Health Center, just a few hours before the opening ceremony. Following his loss, urgent changes were made to the track. Walls were raised, steel columns and critical points were reinforced. Yet, Nodar's story left a profound grief and an unforgettable mourning within the sports world. 1992 Albertville Winter Olympics. On February 22, 1992, Swiss speed skier Nicolas Bouchetet was training at a speed skiing demonstration event in Val d'Isère, France. The 27-year-old athlete had gone out that day for what was supposed to be just a casual warm-up run on a regular ski slope. The weather was clear, and the snow conditions were good. Around 10:30 a.m., while skiing on a moderately difficult slope, Bouchetet encountered a snow grooming machine in front of him. These massive vehicles weigh approximately 2.2 tons and are used to flatten and maintain ski slopes. According to witnesses, Bochete suddenly lost control or misjudged his line. Perhaps it was equipment failure or a momentary lapse in concentration, but it was too late. He collided with the huge machine at high speed, and the impact killed him instantly at the scene. This tragic accident led to the implementation of stricter safety regulations regarding the interaction between athletes and slope maintenance vehicles at the Olympic Games.
1960 Rome Olympics. On August 26, 1960, Danish cyclist Knud Enemark Jensen participated in the 100-kilometer team time trial at the Rome Olympics and became the first Olympic athlete to die due to drug use. The 23-year-old athlete competed on an extremely hot day, with temperatures exceeding 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Jensen was using roniacol, a circulatory stimulant that was legal at the time. The drug was believed to increase blood flow and boost performance, but it could cause dangerous side effects, especially in hot weather. The race started at 2 p.m. For the first hour, the team maintained a high pace. However, as the temperature rose, Jensen's movement slowed and his pedaling faltered. His teammates assumed it was just ordinary fatigue. With about 8 miles remaining, Jensen lost his balance and fell off his bicycle. He was unconscious and overheated. He was immediately taken to the hospital, but doctors were unable to lower his body temperature. Jensen died a few hours later. An autopsy revealed that the combination of extreme heat, physical exertion, and the stimulant had overwhelmed his body's heat regulation system. This incident led to the first serious discussions of doping tests in the Olympic Games.
Which deaths should I review next?